Welcome back. For this adventure, Damon family ventures south to George Washington National Forest on the Virginia-West Virginia border. We spent 4 nights camping while exploring 3 of Virginia's Tread Cred trails. Those would be badge of honor trails for you Jeep people. We come across some spectacular views, find some rare wildlife, and even pay visit to Luray Caverns, all before heading home by way of the Skyline Drive through Shenandoah National Park. I hope you join us on this Damon adventure. We begin the morning after we arrived at Elizabeth Furnace Campground at the north end of George Washington National Forest. Arriving later in the day, we grabbed a site at the campground just for simplicity's sake, but we had planned to move on later. This was also close to the 2 trails we wanted to hit, Peters Mill Run and Tasker's Gap. To start the day though, we cracked open the new trailer to make some breakfast. This was our first time getting the trailer out of the driveway, and while we have some further work to do on it, it was nice to have the solar power, 12-volt fridge, and ample storage and surface space for meal prep. While she's not a shiny new $40,000 square drop with all the bells and whistles, we built this up from the frame as a family, without being specifically skilled in woodworking or mechanics. But more on the build another time. We want to eat and get out on the trails. Peters Mill Run and Tasker's Gap UHV trail system is the largest OHV trail system in Virginia. Permits for the trail system can be purchased in person at a number of local convenience stores and gas stations, and they're only $5 for the day. Mostly ATV-only trails, there are these 2 that are available to full-size rigs, with Peters Mill Run being listed as a Jeep Badge of Honor trail, albeit an easy one. These are also Tread Cred trails, which has available patches for non-Jeep owners. As we approached the start of the trail, we wanted to stop at the top of the ridgeline for a short walk out to Woodstock Tower.
Waking up in the flower bed, the sun is up, table set, we eat and drink.
Careful.
Which way is which?
Body and bread, blood and wine, there's a time to live, time to die, and a time to
So I want to go up.
slow down and listen for a heartbeat. With everything in motion, say a word, hold a hand. Life is not the sum of what we plan, but the in-between. This miracle of human life and the body and time that we occupy, it is all together sacred. Slow down and listen for a heartbeat. With everything in motion, oh, here now, see the beauty that is woven every single moment. La da 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 da, la da 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 da.
Looks like an S shape. It goes around the curve and then there's more water over there.
La da da da,
Around that farm.
la da 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 da. Tomorrow's still a mystery. Don't worry about what you wear or eat. Just stop and smell the roses.
Hello?
Nothing here is guaranteed, but the love surrounding you and
Happy
me
anniversary, happy
will hold us together.
Don't make me cry.
Slow down and listen for a heartbeat. With everything in motion.
What do you think of your second fire tower?
See the beauty that's woven.
It's really awesome.
It's really awesome. Do you know where we are?
I never seen this one. Virginia?
Virginia. Do you like this one or the other one better?
This one.
This one? Why?
Because it's really cool.
It's really cool.
There's no escape.
Every single moment.
Because we can climb to the top and not be nervous.
Mom, I'm just watching.
Slow down
Beautiful clouds.
and listen for a heartbeat. With everything in motion. Here now, see the beauty that is woven in every single moment.
And with our trail pass in hand, we descended back down the road to the start of Peters Mill Run. Peters Mill is an 8.4 mile point-to-point trail rated beginner to moderate, but I think any high clearance 4x4 vehicle would do just fine. While we went from north to south, we would later learn that going the other direction would have provided a little more challenge, so take that into consideration if you visit. We've seen folks on this trail not bother to air down, but it wasn't long before we decided to do so just for the smoother ride. We had recently tuned in our tire deflators to 20 psi and upgraded our air compressor, so it wasn't such a painful process anymore.
Trying to drink on the bumps. How's that working out for you?
Really good.
Really good.
The bumps are really helpful.
Overall, it took about 3 hours to complete the trail, but I'm sure that could have been cut in half if we weren't filming. From here, we headed out towards Luray, Virginia for a bite to eat and to hit a few lookouts with some random roadside photos. The area is absolutely beautiful, with a lot of farmland and old barns, and the hills in the background made for some amazing scenes. The drive out here is worth it even without hitting the trails. After our late lunch, or early dinner, time is pretty fluid when you don't have a firm schedule. We headed back to the forest to check out Tasker's Gap. This trail would be similar in difficulty, but it was a dead-end trail, so riding out and back. This time, though, I would relinquish the wheel to Anna, so she could get some of her own tread cred. So how was your first Badge of Honor trail?
Awesome. Loved it. Piece of cake.
Daylight was running short, so we decided to head back to camp for some downtime before turning in for the evening. The next morning, we would awake to the next leg of our trip. We would be heading out to Luray Caverns, and we'd get to see the world's largest musical instrument before taking the trailer on some trails to find our next campsite somewhere in the central part of this national forest. I hope you'll come back for part 2 of George Washington National Forest. We'll see you out there.
With everything in motion, say a word, hold a hand. Life is not the sum of what we plan, but the in-between. This miracle of human life and the body and time that we occupy, it is all together sacred.